Now to that revealing interview with Anna Nicole Smith's daughter, Dannielynn, 10 years after her mother's unexpected death.
Anna Nicole Smith's daughter, Dannielynn, proves she's her late mom's spitting image.
She was born into chaos, raised in the shadows of fame, and left to piece together a life after losing her mother far too soon. At just 18, Dannielynn Birkhead, daughter of the iconic and controversial Anna Nicole Smith, is all grown up. She's mostly stayed out of the public eye until now. For the first time, she's speaking out. From hidden family secrets to the reality of growing up in a spotlight she never asked for, Dannielynn is finally opening up about her world. And it's not what anyone imagined. She's the daughter of a woman the world couldn't stop talking about, a woman who sparked headlines, courtroom battles, and endless speculation. But before diving into who Anna Nicole Smith truly was, and the complicated relationships that surrounded her, there's one defining moment that changed everything. It was 2001 in Los Angeles. Anna sat down with her attorney, Eric Lund, to draft what would become her final will. Her fame was fading, but her life remained tangled in drama. What she chose to include, and more importantly, what she didn't, sparked years of legal chaos. In the will, Anna made a startling decision. Her son, Daniel, would be the sole heir to her estate. Any future children were intentionally left out. Her lawyer and romantic partner, Howard K. Stern, was named the executor. On the surface, the assets looked modest: $10,000 in personal property and a $1.8 million home, still carrying a $1.1 million mortgage. But the real story was what the will didn't say. When Anna passed away in 2007, she left behind an infant daughter, Dannielynn, whose name appeared nowhere in that legal document. That single omission set off a legal firestorm. Dannielynn's father, Larry Birkhead, quickly stepped forward as the fight over Anna's estate began in Los Angeles County Superior Court. Suddenly, this wasn't just about money. It was about identity, paternity, and a little girl born into a legacy that was already spiraling out of control. Then, in 2008, another voice entered the mix. Anna's estranged mother, Virgie Arthur, through her attorney John O'Quinn, filed a defamation lawsuit. It felt more like a media circus than a court case. She accused major media outlets like Entertainment Tonight, CBS TMZ, and even well-known bloggers of smearing her name and trying to block her access to her granddaughter. The courtroom collided with the digital age in strange and dramatic ways. At one point, a blogger was even jailed for refusing to turn over her computer as evidence. Eventually, most of the defendants were cleared and the case faded from the headlines, but not without leaving scars. By the time the dust settled, Dannielynn, still a toddler, had already been caught in a whirlwind of lawsuits, family conflict, and relentless media attention. Her childhood was shaped not just by the memory of her mother, but by the public's obsession with her story. To really understand how it got to this point, we have to go back. Long before Anna Nicole Smith became a tabloid fixture or courtroom regular, she was just Vicki Lynn Hogan, a small-town girl from Houston, Texas, born on November 28, 1967. After her parents split, she was raised by her mother in the town of Mexia. Vicki never quite fit in. She struggled in school and dropped out at 14, taking a job at Jim's Crispy Fried Chicken. There, she met and later married 16-year-old Billy Wayne Smith. A year later, she gave birth to her son, Daniel. But the marriage didn't last. Vicki later described Billy as controlling, and by the end of 1986, she had left him and moved to Houston looking for a fresh start. Life was tough. She took whatever job she could find working at Walmart, Red Lobster, just to make ends meet. Eventually, out of financial desperation, she began dancing at strip clubs. It wasn't glamorous, but it gave her something she hadn't had before: stability and confidence. In 1992, she sent some modeling photos to Playboy. Hugh Hefner saw something special in her. By March, she was on the cover. The next year, she was named Playmate of the Year. The transformation was complete. Vicki Lynn Hogan had become Anna Nicole Smith. That same year, fashion mogul Paul Marciano cast her in a campaign for Guess. Her bold Marilyn Monroe-inspired image stood out in a world obsessed with size zero models. Anna didn't fit the mold, she broke it. Her curves became her trademark, and her rise to fame was unlike anything the industry had seen. She quickly rose to fame, becoming the face of brands like H&M and Lane Bryant, giving curvy women everywhere a new kind of role model, someone bold, glamorous, and unapologetically herself in mainstream media. From magazine covers to massive billboards in Times Square, Anna Nicole was suddenly everywhere. Her fame exploded, and soon Hollywood came knocking. In 1994, she landed a part in Naked Gun 33, The Final Insult alongside Leslie Nielsen. The movie performed well, but critics tore her acting apart. She was even nominated for a Razzie for Worst New Star. Still, she didn't let the criticism stop her. She took a small role in the Coen brothers' film, The Hudsucker Proxy. Whether people loved her or hated her, Anna Nicole was changing the game. Her mix of confidence, beauty, and raw vulnerability made her impossible to ignore. It all started in 1991 at a strip club in Houston called Gigi's, where she was still known as Vicki Lynn Hogan. At 24 years old, Anna was dancing to support her young son. That night, she met 86-year-old oil tycoon J. Howard Marshall, a grieving billionaire who had recently lost both his wife and his longtime mistress. He was immediately captivated by her. The very next day, he returned, handed her $1,000, and begged her to leave the club life behind. He showered her with gifts, a red Mercedes, diamonds, and monthly consulting fees of $4,000. Though he proposed to her multiple times, Anna initially said no, determined to build a modeling career first. But on June 27, 1994, they tied the knot. He was 89. She was 26. The ceremony was short and strange. Her young son was the ring bearer, and Marshall cried in his wheelchair as Anna left almost immediately afterward for a photo shoot. Critics were quick to call her a gold digger. Even though he'd already given her millions, the public believed she was taking advantage of a vulnerable old man. But the truth wasn't so simple. The legal drama that followed would become one of the most sensational inheritance cases in American history. One judge would later describe their relationship as fueled by need, greed, and lust. But Anna always maintained it was real love. In a 2002 interview, she said Marshall gave her something she'd never gotten from anyone else: respect. She claimed she only waited to marry him because she wanted to make a name for herself first. Unfortunately, the fairy tale didn't last. When Marshall passed away in August 1995, just 14 months after the wedding, Anna found out she wasn't in the will. She said he'd promised her half of his fortune, but there was nothing in writing. His estate was worth up to $6 billion thanks to Coach Industries stock. What followed was a brutal legal battle. Anna, along with Marshall's disinherited son, filed claims. Meanwhile, his other son, Pierce Marshall, who inherited everything, fought to uphold the will. By 1996, Anna was in serious financial trouble. She filed for bankruptcy after being ordered to pay $850,000 in a separate case. Any potential inheritance became part of her bankruptcy estate. In 2000, a California judge awarded her $450 million. But a Texas probate court ruled against her just a year later. The conflicting decisions set the stage for a legal showdown that reached the U.S. Supreme Court. In 2006, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg ruled that Anna could keep fighting not necessarily for the money, but for the right to pursue justice. While the courtroom drama played out, Anna Nicole found herself in a different kind of spotlight. On August 4, 2002, the Anna Nicole Show premiered. Cameras followed her every move from her messy home to grocery store runs and courthouse appearances. What was once a glamorous image now turned into a reality TV circus. Audiences were glued to the chaos-dramatic fights with decorator Bobby Trendy, failed attempts to train her stubborn dog, and moments of pure absurdity. It became the highest-rated debut in the network's history. But underneath the spectacle, something much darker was going on. Her teenage son, Daniel, was often seen in the background, clearly uncomfortable as his mom's life played out in front of millions. Anna's money problems, legal stress, and increasing reliance on prescription drugs weren't scripted for TV, they were very real. Critics accused the show's producers of exploiting her and encouraging wild behavior by giving her Red Bull to ramp up her manic energy. What once seemed like quirky behavior, the slurred speech, the confused expressions started to feel more concerning. The show ended in 2004. By then, Anna Nicole had gone from beauty icon to tragic tabloid fixture. Her infamous 2004 appearance at the MTV Video Music Awards, stumbling and slurring her words, wasn't just another viral clip. It was a public cry for help. Then, another twist reignited the media circus. On June 1, 2006, Anna posted a homemade video announcing she was pregnant. "Let me stop all the rumors," she said. "Yes, I am pregnant. I'm happy." On September 7, 2006, she gave birth to a baby girl, Dannielynn Hope, in the Bahamas. But the happiness didn't last. Her longtime companion and attorney Howard K. Stern was listed as the father on the birth certificate, but celebrity photographer Larry Birkhead challenged that claim, filing a paternity suit. Things quickly spiraled. Two more men, Prince Frederik von Anhalt and former bodyguard Alexander Denk, also claimed they could be the father. Amid the drama, reports surfaced that Anna had been prescribed methadone under a fake name while she was 8 months pregnant. Her doctor defended it as medically necessary, but the California Medical Board launched an investigation. IU's judge eventually ordered a DNA test. Then came the ultimate heartbreak. Just 3 days after Dannielynn was born, on September 10, 2006, Anna's 20-year-old son Daniel died while visiting her in the hospital. He had come to meet his newborn sister but never made it home. Daniel was the person Anna loved more than anyone in the world. An autopsy revealed that Daniel died from an accidental overdose, a deadly mix of methadone and antidepressants. Anna was completely heartbroken.